Okay, what's up guys? We're live. What do we get from the souls? Okay, nothing. Anyway, so I actually kind of got lucky today. Nothing major life-changing, but I did happen to get another one of mythic gemstones. I know it might seem kind of, I'm a baller that I have full mythics on Predator, but I don't have too many mythic gemstones. I think I maybe have like 6 in total, I wanna say. Let me double check. Okay, more than 6. Well, I have like 5, and 2 of them are like irrelevant garbage PvE mythics that are not even relevant in PvE, but I basically have 5 of them. I have 1 ignore defense that is on dodges, which I kind of could put on Predator. I'm kind of tempted to do that. He could use it too. But as you can see, Predator basically has most of my usable gemstones. And I put 2 of these ones that give you 10% damage on kill on him. Now obviously they're not gonna stack past the 30%, but we're gonna double stack it on the first kill. I just wanted to do full mythic gemstones since I can. I'm probably gonna give it to like one of them to Empress or something like that. I don't think Empress is gonna make as great usage out of Predator, and probably I would want one of those, not one of those, the one mythic gemstone that Dodges have, maybe that on Predator, or I think there's maybe one that might be as good. I think on the circular ones you have the one that reduces the damage when you get, yeah, revive. This one could be either one of those, whichever, but I guess double bloodthirsty prowess is gonna be kind of niche, but we're gonna rock it today. I mean, he's gonna get more burst early on if he gets 1 kill, so it can always be the difference in some battles, but just kind of wanted to play with the full mythic since I can. Not champions, of course, but we have 1 champion with fully pimped out gemstones. Okay, first battle, a panda account. Let's go. But yeah, what's up everybody? And you guys probably heard about the big announcement. Swift parry and deflection 9-piece. We're gonna be able to find a lot more use for those 2 sets. Maybe you were using Swift parry on Carnage or somebody else, but probably not on too many champions. And pretty much nobody was using deflection. I'm seeing a lot of very like from both sides extreme opinions about the 2 new sets. A lot of people think that they're gonna like ruin the game and they're insanely OP, and a lot of people think that they're not gonna be used. I mean, I think they're definitely gonna be used, but 50% defense ignore is not something to overlook. I think that's definitely gonna allow a lot of new options and strategies, and you can have more. I guess you can go either one of the extreme these days. You can go 9-piece Swift parry on a nuker, or you could go 9-piece Mercurial. So you have a lot of leeway, especially when you combine that with the different relics and gemstones. You can kind of do it both ways. Maybe you run a tanky nice that's running Swift parry, and then you have some, damage relics, or maybe you do it other way, like you have full 9-piece Mercurial on him, or maybe you can run a lot of mixed options, and it's gonna make it a lot more interesting since enemies might not instantly know what exactly you're running. Mythic relics and relics in general, we're already doing that because Nice could be in Xepias or Wand or bunch of things, but now there's even more room to play with that. Okay, today we're gonna go with the Fabian ban. I feel like I've been letting my enemies have Fabian maybe a little bit too often lately for my own good, and playing with the Donatello, which sometimes it works, but I don't think I want to do it if they're just running one normal lockout and not multiple. We can try to deal with the Galather with the mod. Diabolical Dice, I mean, Carnage is the obvious one. I think you could run it on many things, but it should have a pretty insane synergy with him. First of all, the stats happen to fit him, that he's attack scaling nuker, that builds accuracy, because you do need that with the relic. But also he counter attacks, and it's like it seems like a perfect fit for him, honestly. I do see quite a bit of variation. I don't think I've seen any diabolical dice in my battles yet, not that I know this at least. But people run Carnage in many different relics, you don't really know. Some other champions like Empress are like basically always in Wand of Submission, but Carnage I see in lots of different things. Okay, not the best start. I think we're fully locked out on everybody, and we already lost Armans, and I can't. I'm gonna get CC'd even harder here. Predator A1 is not good enough to one-shot Empress from full health with Boss. That would be pretty good if he could do it though, but I think he's already good enough. I don't want to hype him too much and have Predator be nerfed. I had one crazy battle again on the last live arena session where Predator just went full 1 versus 4, and it was against... Okay, that's game over already. It was against team with both Galather and Theodosia, and somehow he was still able to 1 versus 4 it, and it wasn't like he one-shotted them, but he was 1 versus 4ing probably for like 5 minutes in a row, and he still won. Also, the fusion event is kind of almost over. We're probably gonna see some other big boy events in like a week or two. I'm already looking forward to the next Turtles or Hilvi or whatever we happen to get on events like those. Oh fuck, I don't have music on. I didn't realize it. Thanks for pointing it out. Now it should be on. My bad. It's kind of like a thing that I have like a playlist, and it like runs on the same program that I record, obviously. So sometimes I accidentally leave it on during my normal videos and it screws them, and I try to avoid it. So I always turn it off, and it's better this way. It's better I forget turning music on than I leave it on. Okay, let's not go with Armans just yet. I kind of do like picking it against the Grixias all the time, but I feel like whenever they pick Grixia, it's usually in double lockout teams. Like it's always like double lockout and Theodosia, and if they're running both Grixia and Fabian, then obviously Donatello is really good. Okay, I don't think this is gonna be double lockout. Maybe Theodosia though. I think I want to run either Buff Strip or Sulfurion, but he still has the last pick. And I'm kind of afraid to pick my Sulfurion without last picking, because he's not that fast. I think we go Armans and then Necrator mode, I guess. I think I go Necrat. Now let's go mod. The buff strip would be good on this one. I wasn't watching it, but my My brother was watching it. I have no idea what happened there, but but I did hear them talking about it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really follow the traditional sports a lot. I'm kind of I never got into those. Okay, this guy is going with Nukers only. I think we're gonna ban the Grixia. Now I kind of wish I would have picked Sulfurion, but there's a good chance that he would have picked something else if I did. And at least Monody is better here than Nakarada would have been. Maybe we can go first and boss strip. I guess it's gonna be like everybody in Stone Skin. Maybe Nice not in it, but probably everybody. You bought the can of tuna because of me. Why? Was I talking about like tuna in relation to like some dieting and salads, or what did I say about tuna? I don't remember at all. I've been trying to diet, so I probably talk about it quite frequently because, you know, I'm always hungry and it's always on my mind, but I don't remember what I said about tuna. I was once tuna fishing on like a commercial boat. I mean, like a commercial boat that does it for like let's plebs experience, like tuna fishing. It was pretty cool, you know. It was surprisingly easy to get those. We got many of them. I have couple, not tuna, but I have like couple, but I have canned tuna. Of course I have some canned tuna, you know, probably pretty common household item, but I also have a couple pikes in the freezer that I should probably eat. I don't eat fish too often, like I never buy it, so only if it's my own, but now that I've been dieting, I might as well, that would be a good thing to eat, I guess. I wouldn't have to go buy more meat tomorrow. Okay. No, we got feared. No, is it over? Fuck, is it over? No, come on. No, it's over. Kalos is gonna take me out. I should have gone with Sulfuron. There's no way I can survive. Come on, Duchess. You're tanky. Surely you can survive 3 nukers. Okay. Damn, not the best start. Predator is so hit and miss. Sometimes he's so OP and sometimes he doesn't come in clutch, but we can't really blame him. It's the other ones that are lackluster. I would have been good to have Sulfuron or Armans here, or both of them really. I mean, I have Mercurial, but I don't have like full sets. I just haven't, you know, it's super RNG if you get the accessories on right factions and if you get right type of accessories. I just, I don't have it for anybody. Happens, you know, some people get lucky, some people don't, but we're all getting tons of Mercurial, so, you know, in couple rotations everybody's gonna have Mercurial. I'm not too worried about it. There is bigger, you know, there is bigger worries for me like champions. I'll definitely get Mercurial sets on whoever I want eventually. Probably on Rotos too. I kind of want to try it on Rotos. I think I'm gonna pick like the same team in the last battle, looking at these champions, and it didn't go well the last time. Maybe I'll just not pick more than go with both Donatello and Armans. The thing is, Slyten, that clip is kind of crazy. And I'm sure that wouldn't be good if Parium devs saw it. But the thing is that, you know, that's not even the worst battle I've had. I've had even more crazy battles with him, which I know sounds funny, but I've done the same thing against, you know, like multiple times, but like one battle was also against both Galatir and Theodosia, and he had also Nice in the team, and I don't remember exactly, but the team was like heavily empowered. They were like all empowered to some extent, and it had like it had multiple +4 champions and so on. He's kind of funny. Okay, this is kind of like a full speed team actually, even with the Galatir. His turn meter booster, he has 2 squishy champions. There's no way I'm gonna outspeed him with Sulfureon, but I'm definitely gonna go for the Carnage ban. I think we go Empress this battle, because we're almost certainly gonna get locked out anyway. Maybe he can do better against Marius than Rotos. Yeah, like my gear is pretty good. Granted, I'm not fast, which is kind of a hindrance, but like my, you know, Savage or Lethal is just as good as anyone else, you know, pretty much, but that's not... there's also Faction Guardians. I'm missing quite a lot of Faction Guardians actually. Blessings, Empowerment, and just Champions, so good gear is not really enough to hard carry you currently. You need to have some level of the other stuff too. Now, one thing that I really need is like Revivers and CC champions that have 5 or 6 star blessing that are like fast. Those would really be important for me to get some, and ideally some mythic revivers also that will not get locked out as easily. I'm sure we're gonna have more mythic revivers eventually, like the actual like support revivers, not like Siegfried. Maybe the new faction will get one. I'm kind of hoping for something like that. Okay, we got mostly locked out, but not Armans. I think I try to polymorph the Marius. I'm gonna get other CC on me too, other than lockout. Weststeel, I'm not sure. Which one is that? I don't even recognize the name. The new Barbarian Mythic. I'm sure I would use it. People were kind of hyping it up. I've seen it a couple times. It's been decent, but nothing crazy. I don't really have like a strong opinion about the Barbarian one. I'm sure it's viable, but I haven't seen like some crazy stuff out of him just yet. Okay, being forced to stay on the second form is kind of bad. I don't know if he's gonna take another turn after that. Yeah, in all of my video descriptions there's always the optimizer. Not that, you know, my builds can be a little bit outdated, as I'm running slow tanky stuff, it's not really the meta. So take that with a grain of salt. You can definitely ask questions or make comments about the builds, because so often my builds are not the meta stuff. There's something, you know, on the way to it or nothing close to it, so. But you can look up my numbers if you're gonna battle against me. That's the best way to use my optimizer link. But I'll show my Rotos after this battle. Let's see if we can actually get a win. I wish resist. That wasn't even wand, that was just resistance. I think we got 3% there. Armand's is like 800 accuracy. There's no way he actually got resisted. Man, can I use like a single cooldown on Predator just one as the battle would be over? Okay, the wand proc was kind of clutch. It would have definitely been over if he didn't proc wand or passive there. Come on. This is the life. This is the life of slow people. I get just TC'd like 500 turns in a row and I just need to pray that they will get polymorphed or something at the right time, and maybe I get like one turn in every 20 turns that this guy takes. But I mean, Predator has not gotten to take a real turn once yet, and he's probably like, if he does get one, then the battle is over. But it might even be over like even before that. If he can just... Okay, we got a kill, we're stacking up the passive now. This team is kind of squishy, so if he just dodges the right stuff, we're gonna finish him off with the A1. We don't really ever need the A2, as long as he's not CC'd. He's pretty fast and not very bulky. Again locked out. Can we get a kill? Okay, nice. No, fuck. Weak hit. I was gonna say now we have fully stacked out passive, but no. If I had Galatir, I would build him in like high resistance and in like a balanced build. I've been salivating for Galatir a lot because I think I would have a pretty good gear for him actually. And I would, I even have 5-star soul, so I actually could get enough resistance on Galatir for it to be enough against lockouts. And I would take my Duchess Volcardia card and give it to Galatir and go all the way in like giving all of my best clips and relics and gemstones on him. I might even consider, I don't have any relic plus 18 yet, but if I do get Galatir, probably Volcardia card might be the first one I go plus 18. Okay, I think we lost it. It's a long one, but there's no way, yeah, there's no way Duchess is gonna get cooldowns back. Not against, not against Fabian. I need Duchess to be magic affinity to be able to do these battles, but Angora is not gonna be tanky enough, so... I think it's a boss battle next. Okay, you wanted to see my Rotos build? Let me show it to you. It's pretty standard. I'm thinking about trying both Swift Parry and 9-piece Mercurial once we get them. But he's just in 4-piece Stone Skin and 4-piece Lethal. Rotos is good, but he's not really something that you can pick against everything, but he does deal a lot of with the meta stuff like block damage and does well against Nice and so on. Especially if you have Death Dealer and you can kill somebody like Galatir. But I feel like Rotos would almost be better if you have like a speed team with Bus Strip or something else. But Rotos has not been carrying my account recently. It's been mostly Predator. Rotos is like hit or miss. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he doesn't get any turns. And Predator, even if he doesn't get turns like in last battle, he quite often hangs in there for quite a while, and maybe he can even make a comeback. Okay, bot battle of shame, let's go. I'm pretty high up, too high up for my account, so this happens, but those were like winnable battles, to be honest. We could have won any of them if the RNG was maybe more in my favor. Okay, even the bot is coming out with Galatir and Hilvi. He's running more meta stuff. You bought Predator because of me. Have you been happy with it? Has it actually got the new wins? I saw multiple, like, kind of probably like confirmation bias, but I think there was like 3 comments and 2 people that DM me, and I think they're different people, that all got Predator from the last, like, yesterday shard pull session, where you had the final chance to try to get Predator as free to play. And like 5 people like messaged me that they got him from that without buying the Forge Pass. Okay, let's look at Westeel. I wish they would do like better. They often like stealth update when there is new champions. They don't give content creators heads up. They're just randomly they do a patch and there's new champions, and we don't even we don't even get like promo materials about them. I wish we would. And you know. I need 400 more subs, then I could go Death server and try these things, but I'm not even thinking about the Death server stuff for now because I can't do it, so I didn't even realize we had new champions. 50% chance to deal 100% more damage against enemies whose attack is equal to lower than this champion. Okay, 30% less damage. Really high attack and really low base health, which is kind of interesting. Okay, let me look it up. Do we have Vestel multipliers already up on Ayumilov? It's another annoying thing that when Plarium gives us like updates and new champions or relics, they never give us the multipliers or the stats of the relics, and it's kind of hard to speculate things. Yeah, we don't have the multipliers. I mean, it seems kind of like hit or miss. You have like unkillable, but it's a squeezy attack nuker, and block damage and unkillable are very meta, so there's quite many meta champions that can deal with that. I mean, charge is not very common. People can whip out charges in Platinum Arena, but even there I don't think it's very common right now, even though historically it's been very popular. Classic Arena offense champion. In Live Arena, I see Charge like every once in a new moon. Very rarely do I see him actually. Both Charge and Taras, which were kind of like not that old MVPs, they have both kind of fallen off the meta. You don't see them too much. Both of them are more Classic Arena champions than Live Arena, but even in Classic Arena I don't think Charge is super popular currently. I mean, Mercurial set is definitely doing a number on all of the Ignore Stone Skin nukers, so there is that. And we have other things like, well, for instance, Carol that got just buffed. He can constantly whip out damage, and it's not reliant on Ignore defense, and he's a bit tankier and this kind of stuff, so he's kind of like a more consistent DPS champion. Yeah, My Duchess is fat, that's the one thing that she does. I kind of wanna get new options, but Duchess is the girlfriend that I have that I don't respect, but we are together anyway, so... Hoping for a new better Duchess at some point. There's no way this guy picked Duchess, he's memeing on me. There was that NBF guy the other day who picked Duchess and Maud. I've never seen that once in my life. I'm like 50% sure that's like the only time anybody has picked both Duchess and Maud in Gold 4 Live Arena outside of me. He was just memeing against me. I think this guy is doing the same thing. There's no way he actually picked Duchess. Especially when it's Aspie guy. I'm assuming that, you know, either he's like a ultra giga kraken or he's even more than that, so there's no way we're meeting like a free-to-play Aspie guy. Or are we? Maybe I can actually win this battle if he keeps picking champions like this. Rotos can deal with both of them pretty well. If you have only one Python, it's kind of depends. Like other people said he's good for the faction wars, though. I mean, you have Skull Lord, who can actually be quite good reviver in Lizardman, and then there is Sulfurion. Sulfurion is definitely even better on the faction wars than Python. I wasn't using my Python either, and I don't have any. I empowered my Predator with the 2 Pythons that I had, including like a booked and fully mastered one, but I mean, +2 is still not the same as +4, but I guess it's a little bit better than +1, so I don't know, it depends. Do you need Python for like Chimera or Hydra or Faction Wars? If you don't and you like PvE, then I would do it on Predator. But I don't need it. I wouldn't use Python at this point, even if I had it for anything else. Maybe some Curse City stage, but that's about it. Okay, he's trying to flex on me on you know, out of meta free to play champions basically. Would be funny if I go like if I go speed team against him, but I'm kind of should I do it? I don't know if I dare to go with Rotos. I kind of want to pick Rotos against fuck, Leonardo. But then no, let's go with Empress. But then he already picked the UDK, and I don't want to face both UDK and Harima. This guy could do defense buff from Leonardo and then have both of them. So I don't know if I want to do it. So if he picked Harima and I banned the Leonardo, I feel like he would have no damage, but it seems like he was kind of going for the Harima play to try to deal with my obvious Rotos pick, and he was already picking my champions, and I'm like 60%, okay, I'm like 80% sure this guy has better champions than whatever he just picked. So maybe not, maybe he's like a free to play, but I feel like that shouldn't be as like Aspie player. There's no way. Anyway, do we ban Ashenar or what do we go for here? What if I ban the Leonardo? Leonardo could be a little bit annoying here. Or maybe I should have just banned the Duchess. He's gonna get immunity from Necrit anyway, but he wouldn't have any revivers at all. I don't think Bayek is really... Wait, am I conflating it again? Basim and Bayek. Bayek is the void one, right? Or... okay, I have to double check. those two names are not like fully registered on my memory. Yeah, Bayek is the Void one. I don't think Bayek is really like a PvP champion. I've met it, I lost to Bayek once, and I've met it like a few times, maybe like 5 times or something like that. I think he's more like a champion for Chimera and Hydra. He can do a lot of the things you need on both of those and do lots of Hydra missions, but he has interesting passive for PvP, but that's basically all he does for PvP, and I don't think that's really actually strong enough to make him used. So I would just build him for PvE, but I think he's gonna be pretty good for that and help you there, so I wouldn't be too sad about pulling a Bayek. I mean, if I got him, I would try him, but you know, what are you gonna do? Like, if you wanna try Bayek build, maybe just literally go like UDK build, that you build him tanky with aspect of Sirot and reaction or stone skin or something like that. I'm sure you could do some accuracy and speed too, but you could probably do just that to keep him up for the passive. But of course, there is ways to deal with the passive. You could just get rid of it with Carnage, or just have enough raw damage to not care about it, since Bayek isn't tanky, and if you're high up in Live Arena, or if you early pick Bayek, people could just pick Death Dealer nukers against it as well, so I don't think he's like OP meta PvP like tank or anything like that. By the way, I got my favorite drink today. You can't really tell it from the picture, but I'm pretty sure they probably don't sell it outside of the Nordic countries. But I got Moomin soda, which is like a strawberry lemonade. It's really good. It's my favorite one. They don't always have it in every store. It's kind of expensive, and you can't buy it in bulk, and a lot of stores don't even have it. But it's kind of my hidden favorite one, and it's like children's soda, but it's really good. I've been, you know, working out and fasting and eating low calories, or sometimes nothing at all on some days, and this is like the best enjoyment I'm getting right now, drinking some sugarless soda. It feels pretty nice actually. Okay, we actually got the win after the humiliating loss streak. To be fair though, I think this guy was kind of dunking on me. Does anyone know SP Knight said? I definitely recognize the name, and I've fought him several times before, but I don't really remember exactly what he picks. Maybe those are actually his main champions. I can't really tell. But there's a chance that he was just basically giving me a free win or something like that. SP is handing out reparations or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess they have some free-to-play players there, if that's his champion roster. Would I put Coronet of Gloom? Well, I wouldn't put it on Duchess, but Predator, sure. I mean, I guess you could put it on Duchess. You could put it on pretty much anything. I mean, the stats on it are good for nukers. The effect can be like good on supports, but I'm sure there is depending what you have, but theoretically there is other more interesting relics for supports, but you could totally just randomly put it on anybody. Now, between the Coronet and the Lens, I will say that on Predator, if you're not running Duchess or another champion that does... Dude, how is everybody picking Duchess today? What is going on? Did I lose too many fights in a row? This guy is not even low points, he's really high points actually. He's definitely in top 100 and probably like well above it actually. But Predator only gets one turn Whale at the start of the battle, and most oftentimes if you're not locked out, you're not gonna want to open with the A3, you want to open with the A2. It would be really good to get 2-turn Whale or get it from some external source. Not only is Lens the best one for damage, but it also gives you 2-turn Whale at the start of the battle. So I think that's actually... Like, they're both Grim Forest relics. I think that's actually better for Predator, but obviously you probably don't have it. You're, you know, getting the... Fuck, I'm talking too much. Getting the Coronet is hard enough. Getting both of those is RNG. But, I mean, would I use Gloomy Coronet if I had it on my Predator? Probably, because it would free up a WAN slot on another champion. I still don't have endless amount of WANs that I can put it on all of my main champions. Some of them just don't have like any relics. I don't think Sulfuran has any relic, or he has the blue one that gives you boost on... I think we actually go Sulfuran here. He has the blue one that gives you boost on heals and turn meter. I would probably put that on my Predator and give the wand on somebody else, but I really do like the wand on Predator, so I think that's like... even if you have like those really good mythic relics, wand is still always an option for Predator. It really makes a lot of... Should we actually go Duchess ban? I think we go Duchess ban since I picked Sulfuran. If you have a chance to not get stunned or other CC on yourself, I hope he doesn't outspeed. I feel like he might actually outspeed me without speed outrun, him having the big one. Yeah, so if you get stunned, then even if you have kills, you can proc the passive, which is gonna heal you and maybe kill enemies and help you stay alive and stall time. It's kind of... it depends. Sometimes Wand is the best one, honestly. But sure, I would definitely use Gloomy Coronet on him. Okay, he's running 2 Nukers in Mercurial. Interesting. I don't know if I have enough accuracy to hit the UDK, and if we don't do that, yeah, we're definitely not gonna break the Stone Skin on Carnage. I only have 3-star Blessing on Sulfuran. We would need to hit more than one champion. Now it's looking kind of bad. It's looking really bad. He's gonna get the Carnage debuffs up on me. I don't think I can really stop it. I think we're just gonna try to nuke through it. I mean, we're not gonna nuke through it, but we're gonna try to get rid of the passives and and stacks. But I think we lost this battle. Interesting strat. I do see these kind of things quite often. Usually it used to be with like everybody being in 4-piece Stone Skin. Oh, okay, I kind of got good RNG there with the weak hits. But this is basically like a new improved version of the old strategy. That he's running a mix of Stone Skin and Mercurial. Well, it's not over yet, but at least he didn't get the lockout. Fuck, which one should I protect? I think we're gonna protect Sulfurion and not oh fuck. Oh my god, I didn't do the A3 first. I wanted to get rid of the... Fuck, I wanted to get rid of the Total Guard, but now he got Poke Pass step off on everybody. I was gonna protect Sulfurion and not Predator, but now I can't. He doesn't even get the debuffs up on on Garnets and we're still gonna lose this battle. Ah, oh my god. Predator didn't get... No, he got 1 kill. Okay, maybe there's a chance. There's a small chance that Predator can take this. I think he can kill Rotos. Yeah, he can kill Rotos with the double hit. Probably Sulfuran too. He's not that thing. Oh my god, even Predator. Okay, well. I guess, you know, Sulfurion is gonna be a lot harder to use now with Mercurial being so common and increasingly more common. I was talking about that a lot when it happened, but maybe it's time to maybe it's time to use Sulfurion even less than I was using. Definitely going for the 5-star soul, that was like my goal at one point. It seems less interesting now because he's gonna have a rough time if they are in Mercurial, and anything can be in Mercurial. I mean, people are already, as you saw, that guy was running Marius in Mercurial, which is really common actually. I've seen it a lot, and any nuker can be in Mercurial. I have seen Fabians, nice, you know. I'm sure people are literally gonna build every single champion in it, so it's getting tricky to run Sulfurion. Not that he was super good for me before anyway, because he's not that fast. I need to have like a Fabian or other things to buff strip the enemy rather than Sulfurion. Or I need to get the Ukko build, but I'm missing like a one Mercurial banner on Ukko. Then I could run Ukko, and at least he could buff strip them and maybe do multi-hits and get rid of the total guard. So he's probably gonna do what Sulfurion was doing better for me in the current meta. We'll see if the Ukko is gonna play out, but I'll definitely try it as soon as I can get a banner for him. Okay, Maritska team. Those I love these days. Maybe we can win this battle. I think I go for the Niamhe ban, but I could even go for nice ban. It could be an option here, but it's probably gonna be really annoying, like having both Maritska passive, Niamhe passive, and then potentially being locked out. That probably would be too much, so let's get rid of the Niamhe. But yeah, Duchess is meta today, I guess. Everybody's picking Duchess in the battles. I don't know why. I don't think there was any sudden change with the meta that made Duchess better. I guess she does double hit on A1 against the Mercurial, but I don't think those guys were using her for that reason. Okay, I think Donatello resisted, right? Okay. Fuck. We're so low health that we can just easily get block revived by Nice. Fuck, I can't go for the A2. I wanna go A2, but Rotos is gonna die otherwise. I don't think we can save him though. Okay, no weak hit please. Ah, not enough damage, fuck. I think we're gonna lose Rotos now. I don't think he's gonna go before Nice, so Predator needs to needs to solo this battle because he's gonna be the only nuker. They should remove the block revive from Nice. Why does he even need it? He has so many other things going for himself. Oh, I don't know if I have the damage to kill the Fabian or should I just do A2 on the Nice. I think we go A2 on Nice actually and not go for the kill. I didn't get above 50%, so okay, that's great. I kind of lucked out there. The Mariska A1 on Rotos was a mistake since we got Donatello passive proc and got healed up. I think we're good now, basically. I might not have enough damage for one-shotting Mariska with full health and buffs, and I don't have attack buff, so we're not gonna go for it. Oh, that's perfect. So we didn't have enough damage to kill him, which is surprising. And he counter-attacked and proc Rotos extra turn. Maybe now with that stolen health, maybe we can actually try to go for Mariska one-shot instead of trying to A1 the Nice. Okay, I think we like just barely killed the Mariska Terror. Yeah, I was having couple battles in a row where I wasn't getting good RNG. I guess it finally had to kick in. Okay, now it's over. We can just double hit the Nice to Oblivion. No? How did he not die on the first hit? It usually dies from way less than that. Anyway, he's not gonna make a comeback from this. There's no way. Nice says watch me, but nah, we got this, we're good. I definitely don't have enough damage to kill the Nice, even if I don't, I mean I have Whale up, so he wouldn't resist the debuff, but it probably wouldn't kill it, so let's gamble on the weak hit against the Fabian. Yeah, I think I was talking about it to some people that it would be kind of funny, you know, people run Odins in very fast builds on crit rate gloves. Right now, when everybody's running Mercurial, first of all, Ukko does like multi-hits, and he has like double hit buff strip on A2, so he's pretty consistent buff stripper. And he's not tanky, but he still has the block damage revive like Sifi. So maybe you could run Ukko in like Stormcaller, like fast build, and not even try to be tanky and just be like really annoying. Get rid of the enemy boss, stun them, steal their shit, you know, maybe get some block damage or other OP boss in the current meta from enemies. Not like I have other stuff to do, so I'm definitely gonna go for it. I haven't seen anybody try it yet. I heard that Cruisen was also talking about it, but I haven't seen any clips of anybody doing it, and I don't have a accuracy banner, so I can't really do it yet, but I'm gonna try it as soon as I can. I will definitely make a video about it eventually. I mean, I don't have Stormcaller, but I was telling people to try the Stormcaller strategy. It sounds kind of fun. Everybody's just running Marius in it, which is strong. But maybe you could mix it up and even run Ukko in that. Stormcaller, when you hit with it, when you crit with it, you will get stacks. And if you get enough stacks, then you stun the enemies. And people run it on Marius because he does AoE damage and he buff strips the enemy. So they're not gonna have immunity. And you will like fill up the stacks instantly with the multi-hits and stun them. It's really OP if you go first. It's a lot less damage than Gat's case, of course, but it's more like utility. Ukko also has buff strip, and it's not triple hit, but it's double hit, and also AoE A1. And you know, he could be generally like a decent, kind of like a alternative version of how people use Hilvi, for instance. And I happen to have Ukko and no Hilvi, and I think I have some level of blessing for Ukko too. I don't think it's 5-star, I think it's 3-star if I recall right, but I could actually play with him, unlike Hilvi. My Sulfuron is like 346 speed. I don't have Faction Guardians, I don't have Blessing, you know. Those would already make a lot of difference. But there is some people that are like, even if I got like 100 more speed on my Ukko, they would still be way faster than him, so... And with the Mercurial, maybe he's too inconsistent to run. I think we have to go for Nail Ban here. Especially when, if he's running Nail, he has to be in Mercurial. Even if it's 4 Ps, but he might have 9 Ps, which would be really good. I don't have anybody in it, so I'm just gonna get decimated by Nell. Before he was kind of, or she was kind of a toss-up with Polymorph. Either you get destroyed or she get insta-polymorph, because there's so many chances to proc it, but it's not gonna happen with Mercurial. But yeah, what's up everybody that just joined? Just chilling a little bit on Friday, it's not even Platinum Reset. Okay, nice, pretty good start. We didn't get locked out. What's the best licorice? I don't know from what country are you from, Sneedelwoods, but in Finland it's quite popular and I think licorice was invented by Finnish people, right? I forgot about that. People often say it. It's quite common. I like licorice. There's quite many options here. There's ones that are like, first of all, I'm kind of not able to eat any candy right now because I'm trying to get good and not be fat, but to A3, right? There's one, it's Finnish brand, but the name is like Turkish pepper. Those are like sweet and spicy. And then there is like just I don't know how you call it, like okay, I'll show pictures. I don't know what you even call it. I think those are my favorite ones, but there's so many options. My mom likes licorice chocolate as well. But I think that's a bit too much. Okay, this is the other one that I was talking about. Wait. I liked those a lot when I was kid. Not that I eat them very often these days. These I like. And then there's the other one. Wait. But I think depending on what country you are, we probably have different candies, so probably you don't have all of the Finnish candies in your country. Fuck, I can't find a picture of the one that I actually like quite frequently buy. I don't buy those anymore. I used to buy them always when I was kid though, but not in long time. I don't remember what's the name of the licorice that I usually buy. It's bothering me that I can't find it. Maybe I'll hold on to the Arman's pick for a bit and just go mod already. I'm literally browsing the website of like a food shop to try to find the licorice that I buy. Okay, maybe Donatello and go for... Let's go Donatello and Rotos and ban the Embrys, I think. Damn, there's so many candy options. I can't find the one. Oh, okay, now I found it. This is the one that I buy. This is my favorite licorice. This I buy pretty often. Panda lakupala täyte. This one. Okay, that that was a long answer to like a very simple question. Now you know. Okay, let's see if we can... Let's see if we can fumble against fumbles. I think I fought this guy like literally yesterday or something. The name sounds very recent matchup. What's up, Levi's stream? I don't have a lot of mythics. I think I have like the ones that I pulled. Like I have Carnage and Embrys, and then I have Mikage, and then I have Gallows. That's my mythics. I don't have too many of them. And I did pull Mikage. I got Mikage from Shard. I didn't do the quest for her because I already got it from Shards, but basically I pulled Gallows and Mikage. Oh wait, I have Aphidus too. I forgot about Aphidus because he's completely irrelevant in PvP, but basically the three that I pulled is Aphidus, Mikage and Gallows. Now, two of them have gotten buff, Gallows and Aphidus. Mikage is not... like, Mikage is relevant in PvE. I guess Aphidus kind of is, but not really like top tier. And Gallows gets used a little bit, but it's really not meta in PvP. And if you use it, it's more for like speed teams and not these kind of tanky go second teams that I'm always having to play with. So okay, let's see if we can make a comeback. Rotos did his job. Now we have cooldowns. Maybe we can actually farm some kills. Nah, fuck. Mod. No, I think... which one is gonna go first? I think Mod is gonna go before Predator at least. I hope she does. Oh, okay. He kind of gambled with the petrification, but we banded it. No! More died and we got enfeebled on Predator. If Predator just got a turn here, he could go ham. I think he still has the passive on Galatir, so just do A2. We can't kill it anyway. If you got Galatir in 2 weeks into the game, congrats, you're already winning. Galatir is one to pull. I wish I had one of those, but maybe eventually. I really specifically would want Galatir too. He would be like my number one of all of the mythics that I could pull. Just in general, Galatir is one of the best, and it would also happen to fit my champions well, and I also would have really good gear for Galatir specifically. Like the resistance set and Volcardiac Heart relic that we were talking about before. Come on, Predator. You can win this. You have soloed even less, even worse matchups. Maybe? Okay, no. We fumbled against fumbles, it happens. This guy has both of the Mythic Revivers, so those battles are pretty hard. I can't usually out-tank those, and he even has a lockout. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Funny it's called Panda now that you mention it. I didn't even think about it. But I do like pandas, so you can tell him about it. I got Sulfuron quite a while ago. I don't really remember it, but it's probably been like 2 years since I got Sulfuron. I wasn't really using him a lot because I'm not that fast, and I guess the Mercurial meta kind of made Sulfuron not relevant anymore. I was trying to go for a 5-star blessing, but probably not even worth to do it anymore. Wait, did Finnish people not create licorice? I feel like we did. Or is it just xylitol? I feel like people often mention it in the chat. I guess you're right. Okay, I guess Finnish people. Okay, I'll read it to you. I guess they made like alternative version of it. Let me read it to you. Wait, hold on. I mean, I don't mind Rotos against Predator, but Fabian. I guess we have to do it. But do I just go with Donatello again? I really want to go Nakarada against Predator though, but okay, I guess we go... Not Leonardo, Donatello. Okay, this is what Google says about it. No, Finnish people did not invent licorice, but they are credited with popularizing and refining salty licorice. Regular sweet licorice originated in Asia, and so on. Finns, along with other Nordic countries, adopted and perfected the mixture of ammonium chloride with licorice in the 20th century. There you go. My bad. I apologize to all of the Asian countries. Well, I guess we go with Gallos. Gallos wouldn't be terrible. He might not get locked out, and we have 2 Magic Affinity champions. He's running a team again. This is such a mythic power creep. He's running a team with no revivers, yet he has 2 revivers. That doesn't make any sense. I will tell you about licorice. First time I got really wasted, which was when I was 14. First time I was like, I mean, I had tasted like hard liquor, not licorice before, but first time I really got proper drunk with hard liquor was when I was 14, and I had like a couple friends. It was my 14th birthday, and we were in our sauna, which is like outhouse. It's like a separate like building, and it's like quite a bit distance of my like parents' house, so there's like privacy. And we had like 3 bottles of liquor licorice, which is very popular in Finland. That wasn't, I didn't fumble my words. It's liquor licorice, very common here. Kids like it because it tastes sweet, and it's kind of a bad drink because you can get really easily really drunk with it. And so it was my 14th birthday. My friend bought us 3 bottles of liquor licorice, which I think is like somewhere around 40% alcohol. Quite hard stuff for 14-year-old kids. And I think we do A3 and not even A2. We save the A2 for later. And we were like mixing Coca-Cola and liquor licorice, trying to be smart that they both look black. And if my parents happen to come to the sauna, they're not even gonna know that we're drinking. But obviously, you know, the entire sauna smelled like liquor because we had, you know, 3 bottles of like hard liquor in it. But it was fun. Nothing happened. We were good. It could have been worse, but nothing bad happened. But yeah, it's a really popular drink in Finland, especially among the young people, and it's often kind of frowned upon that it's people get in trouble when they're drinking liquor licorice and don't realize how high alcohol what's it called, like how high the alcohol percentage in it is. I mean, I'm not like a big drinker. Probably one of my, you know, if I have to drink something, I like liquor licorice. Especially it's often like used in drinks too, but it's almost like a drink by itself, even if you don't mix it in anything. It doesn't taste like a vodka, but it has basically the same alcohol percentage. Okay, I think we're doomed. Maybe I should have picked Ambrose and not Galleos in this battle. He's kind of low health anybody, but I don't have any pressure against him. There's no way Dutch is gonna survive long enough to do lockout. Maybe if he gets a lot of weak hits and Fabian gets Wanded or Polymorphed. I mean Polymorphed, not Wanded. There's a small chance, but probably not. Let's just auto it to see if we get the revive. I think he's also gonna auto, or no? I don't know about Siegfried being number 1, or like what do you mean about it? He's a good champion. Bombs are kind of like issue with him, but then people build usually him in like feral set or immunity, and he's kind of used to counter certain types of teams with his passive, but he's not like a champion that is getting picked every battle like Predator or Nice or Fabian or Embrus or Marius or so on. Siegfried is pretty rare pick. You see him regularly, but not like every battle. You can just whip out UDK or Harima and other things, and it's not the most threatening thing in the meta. About the per capita drinking, it's kind of like Finland is like an anomaly because we're always ranking high in all of the statistics, but there has definitely been years, because, you know, the margins are quite small between the countries, and of course we can't really rely on the data of all of the, you know, all of the third world countries, no offense, but on many years officially Finland has been the country where they consume most alcohol per capita. It has also been the same for coffee, but I don't know if that like means really anything. I will say that Finland is definitely more liberal in terms of alcohol than, like, let's say US. That I know. That I know for a fact. we don't have drinking age like 21 here or anything like that, and it's quite common that teenagers go drink, and you know, parents are not making that big deal about it. Ugly is an interesting choice of a account name. So if you don't know Levi's Dream, like Empress is a champion that you will get out of missions, so basically everybody will get Carnage, Mikake and Empress if they play long enough, and he's considered quite good, and he's one of the most popular champions in live arena. He's almost picked in like every battle or every other battle at least. In terms of like percentage use, I'm pretty sure like him and Fabian are the two highest because they're both good and they're both guaranteed champions, or Fabian was a fusion. I'm gonna pick Rotos against our base. We have to do it. I don't think we're gonna win this Gods and Legends guy either. Yeah, I will say that's pretty normal thing. Like, you know, we were just talking and going to the sauna and drinking. It's very typical Finnish stuff. Now, in terms of 14 years old doing it, probably most responsible adults couldn't publicly endorse it. But, you know, it happens, and as long as nothing bad happens, it's not the end of the world. It's better to drink at your home than go to like some, you know, festivals or elsewhere to do it, I guess. I would say that for me the worst part about Finland is that like more than half of the year it's very cold and it's annoying to go outside, and that's pretty much it. I think maybe that there's like quite big distances between things, but it's also generally like upside that Finland is not densely populated country, and there's a lot of like forests and lakes, and people have generally like some, you know, privacy and like forest in their yard and this kind of stuff. But best thing about Finland, I would probably say, is that it's kind of a safe country. Like the general living standard is high. It's safe. People are not really homeless here. Even if people have like issues, they will get welfare and stuff, and it kind of all, you know, it all contributes to the fact that you're not like scared to go outside like people are in some other countries. Maybe more so, of course, in the capital city, but outside of that, no. And of course, you know, there's a lot of forests and lakes like I just mentioned. Unless you live in the capital, but even there you have quite a lot of greenery. I have lived in the Finnish capital when I was young, and I also went to college there, even though I wasn't living in the capital, but I mostly lived in like countryside most of my life. Okay, fuck. I don't... Maybe Dutch can survive. Nah, there's no way. He could kill himself to the whole cardiac heart though. that Marius is clearly not super tanky. Maybe if he takes a few weak hits on Empress. Nah, he got taken back. There's no way I can. I'm just gonna give up. Damn. Bot battle and then not too many ones in between, and then we got another bot battle. Yeah, I was gonna mention that, yeah, it would be, it will not be the best. I mean, like, technically, I guess there is, like, homeless people per se, but, you know, they live on, like, you know, somewhere. Nobody's, like, there is not people in streets like you have in US. That's not the thing at all in Finland. You're not gonna find it. I've seen a few documentaries about interesting people that, you know, they want to live in like some public park or like in some train buildings, but they're like, they don't actually want to live in like they don't want to rent an apartment, and they want to make their own house in some public land, but basically there's no homeless people. I think the fact that Finland is kind of isolated and like in the edge of the world and so on, it kind of shields a lot of like issues. It's too cold for parasites, it's too, you know, distant from other places that all of the crime hubs and these kind of things hits us the hardest. So for many reasons that like come together, Finland is pretty safe place generally. We're not like in middle of multiple countries and having some like ethnic, you know, issues or anything like that, of like multiple factions fighting for power or one of those things. There's no earthquakes, there's no tsunamis, you know. It really okay, I'm not even the bot is like feasting on me with the UDK pick. Okay, I think we can beat the bot. Finland is actually not rich country. That's kind of a common like misunderstanding. I think it's like a bunch of things, like, you know, the allocation of money. Even though Finland has like increased their military budget by like many times in the past few years, it used to be like little bit more. It used to be 1.2% like 10 years ago. Now it's like more than 4%. But like generally, you know, we're not like we're a small country. We don't have lots of like issues that consume our resources. We're obviously not like trying to like invade Africa or, you know, Middle East or anything like that. We don't usually have a lot of like border conflicts or natural disasters or stuff like that, and people just get by. But in terms of GDP, Finland is not high GDP. It's kind of low GDP actually, as far as like how it's considered like a rich Western country. Finland is not that rich actually. But we don't have oil money. We don't have like crazy natural riches or anything like that. Norway has oil money, not us. Finland people just, you know, live in their homes in forest, and that's all. It's just that, you know, we have like a decent, you know, average living standards, and there's welfare, and there's like, you know, public education, universities are free, kindergarten is free, there's like good parental leave. It's just, it's not rich, but the average living standard, even for like the lowest income people, is high in relation to other countries. which is kind of good for everybody because we have a lot of less drama and it's a lot more safe than when we see news about other countries. I think US GDP is like double of Finnish GDP, or pretty much exactly like that, as an example. Close to double. I think Finnish is like 50 something, is it like 48, and US is like 84 or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly, but it's almost correct because I have definitely looked it up before. Okay, what are we gonna do against Commodus? This guy has pretty high points, almost 50k. I guess I just go Necret against the Commodus and hope I don't get bombed. Oh, he whipped out the undead faction leader. I haven't seen him many times. He's squeezy, but he does block revive. Maybe I don't even go for Commodus ban. Maybe I go for Marius. Let's go for Marius. Well, no, let's go Commodus ban. No. Do I think it's like the 9-piece SP stick move by Plarium? Well, I mean, I can see your rationale there, but you know, everything about this game is super pay to win, so I don't think that's anything new. I mean, so is everything else. Winning CVC battles, winning sieges, winning Chimera or Hydra. Everything else is paid to win, so I don't know if it's any worse than the other content, to be honest. But I think there is a very good chance that they will eventually add Swift Parry accessories to other content than Platinum Arena Chest 2. I already saw multiple content creators begging for it, basically. And you know, if you guys were watching my content, I predicted this like on December, when they said that they're gonna do variable 9-piece set on Swift Parry. I made multiple predictions, including that it's gonna get Ignore Defense since all of the other variable nuker sets have it. And I also did say that there's like, they're gonna put it in Platinum Arena Chest, I'm sure, and probably to some other new content. And I think down the line they will probably add something where you can also get the accessories. There's gonna be pretty big demand for it, and in the last like year or so, Plarium has actually been taking the player feedback into consideration. That's why we have the, I always forget what's the name, but we have the program where spenders can, you know, vote for stuff. I'm sure lots of people are gonna complain about it. The Plarium community managers are gonna look at Reddit or the content creator chat, and they are definitely aware of this issue. I'm sure they will do it eventually from other content. So there is that. I hope that makes you feel better about it, but you know, even if they add it to other content, I'm sure it's gonna be very sparse to get it. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm having trouble with Plat. I'm sure Platinum Arena is gonna be a lot more competitive now, which I think in general is a good thing, because that content was kind of forgotten and not popular for last several years. Live Arena was kind of final nail in the coffin, and Platinum Arena definitely needed some adjustments and new content in it. So I think overall it's a good thing. And I don't know if I'm even gonna get those accessories super easily. So at least there's some new goals to go for, and I rather have goal to do better in Platinum Arena than try to deal with Chimera or Hydra and the other stuff. But I've had like super hit or miss, because as you can see my account is not up to par currently. But I finished 2 times in top 20 this year, and then I've also missed it once or twice, I forget. 1 or 2 times I didn't get plat. Last Platinum reset I thought I didn't get plat, and basically everybody in the stream thought I didn't, because it showed that I wasn't in plat when it ended. When you look in the guild, they kind of screwed it up that you don't get the plat rewards after it ends, and the leaderboards are scuffed and they don't actually tell you who got it or not. But it looked like I was in gold, but then I was like 487 or something like that, and I barely got platinum last time. And I'm sure it's gonna be way harder to get platinum after the update, that's for sure. By the way, I was telling that for months. If you look at my video titles, especially the stream titles for the Sunday plat push, since December I've been telling everybody to push plat, because now is the easiest time to get the rewards. It's gonna be harder when they buff it, and that's definitely gonna happen now. Come on, let me whip out 1 revive. Okay, no. Close. We're having close battles, but we're getting dominated. I'm meeting pretty tough enemies, I'm not gonna lie. Cards and Legends player, SP player, really high point enemies. They're not really easy battles. Okay, Rudy Close. I was talking about per capita. Let's calm down. Finland is a country of 5 million people. Okay, now we have to look up the numbers. Dude, of course I was talking about per capita. What do you mean? I feel like you're rage baiting me. Usually when we talk about GDP, nobody ever talks about the overall GDP. We always talk about per capita. Like, just in general, when we compare about different stats between countries, we're always talking about per capita. Okay, so looks like I was literally exactly correct about my numbers, by the way. So Finland GDP per capita between 53,000 to 54,000. Wait, let me pick first. And I said 53. US GDP per capita, I said 84. It's 85 to 86, and probably the number that I had is like a couple years old, so I was like exactly correct about this. So 53 to 85, US is like closer to double the Finnish GDP. That was my point. You can, you know, we can talk about the percentage, but it's basically double. And of course, take into account that there's a lot bigger wealth distribution gap in the US, and US has the most millionaires and billionaires in the world. So there is that. I mean, definitely, and also it really depends on the cities in US, because the big cities, everything costs a lot more and everything pays a lot more, and it's completely opposite on like small towns. But Finland average living standard is definitely higher than average US living standard. You can come debate about me on that, but I think it's literally true. I mean, some people have much higher, but the lowest Finnish living standard is like infinitely better than the lowest US living standard. Let's put it that way. We don't have streets full of homeless people, and everybody has the chance to go to university and to all public schooling. Everything is free, which I think is good. I'm sure there is gonna be, you know, people in the chat that are not not about that, and we can debate it. You know, I'm kind of like I'm not politically aligned. I have issues with both sides, and I agree with them on certain things on both sides. But I do think that having stuff like, you know, public roads, public schooling, even kindergarten and universities, which are not in most countries, police, fire department, these kind of things are necessary, and basically all countries have some of those things, but there's many of those things that a lot of countries don't do, like even US, and Finland happens to do them, and indirectly it benefits everybody, not just the poor people, because like I said, it's a lot more safer here, and it's good for even those people who might not, you know, they might afford to go to private schools on their children and stuff, but their children can walk to school without worrying about getting mugged or anything like that. That's like one of the few things that I'm pretty like, I'm definitely not gonna like change my opinion on that. I think it's very good overall. It's not like I'm from like a poor family or anything like that. My family is not rich or poor. We do like fine, but I think it's just generally very good for the society at large that even the poorest people have food and they go to school and so on. little bit politics, because we're doing so bad in the battles that we need to talk about other stuff rather than the battles. Fuck. At least that wasn't T Swift, it was just Tyler. I definitely could use some welfare on my raid account. We kind of need some free champions out here. We need to put out free Galaters and Theodosias for everybody in the raid community. I think that would make the average live arena living standard better as well. Okay, another Grixia battle. Maybe I should not even go Armans. It can kind of go either way though. No, we go Armans and Donatello again. Yeah, that one thing about US that I find it very weird is that you guys have private prisons. That doesn't make any sense to me. Again, I'm not like you know, communist or anything like that, even though I do like some social democratic stuff, like, no wait, that's the other way around in US. Not social democratic, no, yes, social democratic stuff, like, you know, the fire departments and such. I think it's massive conflict of interest that prisons can be private and have interest of like keeping as many people as possible there and keeping them there as long as possible. That's crazy. I think private prisons should not be allowed in any country. I think that's kind of whack. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, I think in many things it's much better that private sector does it than government. But I think there's some things that should not be like that, and prisons should be it. They should be as impartial as possible, and there should be no kind of profit incentive in those. Prisons are like, you have a job that needs to be done, and it needs to be done by the books, and, you know, you need to have very clear rules on it that everybody knows and agrees to. We can't have some kind of, you know, madness with the private prison systems. Also in Finland, generally the maximum maximum life sentence in Finland is 12 years. So you can, it can get extended. But Finland punishments are generally much less severe than in US. So quite many people in Finland feel like we should actually increase the maximum prison sentences. I think many people in my family, for instance, feel like we should increase the maximum available sentences. But that's kind of like a nuanced topic. The private prison topic, I feel like, is a lot less so. I mean, if Rotos can just get the turn here, we might be good, but then Odin is in Mercurial, and he could actually pull off a revive, even if I get kills. But everybody is gonna be one shot if Rotos can just take a goddamn turn. I mean, I agree with that, Joe Leeser, and I think that's part of it, like why it's so safe here. But then again, you have small states in US as well, so it's not like you have many states in US that are the same size of Finland or even smaller. Okay, there's no comeback from this. I think it's one more. No. Okay, be right back. Yeah, public healthcare is another one that I think is very important. Of course, many European countries do it outside of just the Nordic ones, but we do have it here as well. Yeah, you have like, okay, so Jollies, or what I meant about the roads and fire department is that in US, and of course this is my perception, but I follow politics quite a lot, if it isn't too obvious, but in US, the term social democracy is like a swear word, and people often they conflate democratic socialism and social democracy, which are two different things. Finland, is a social democratic country. Public, fire department, public roads, this kind of stuff, all countries agree that you need them. There's like no disagreement with those policies, but those policies are social democratic policies, which US people are generally very against. So they like some of the social democratic policies and not others, but both public fire department and public education or healthcare are that. That's kind of my point. And I think they're both like necessary things for like a country to have, honestly. Yeah, all the pre-universities and kindergarten kind of varies, and it's not that common. But the public healthcare is basically all of the Western world except US. Is there illegal immigration in Finland? Because of like our like as before I alluded to that we're kind of isolated country, and it kind of contributes to the many things here. We do have some of it, but obviously a lot less than other countries, and it's more like, you know, more like refugees that, you know, some people will call them, you know, economic migrants and not refugees, but like that's kind of the type of immigration that we have here that some people like and some people don't. But it's not like we have people really coming like coming over border or anything like that. I'm sure it happens, but that's not like a common occurrence. We only have, you know, our border countries are Russia and Sweden. I think there is a little bit, you know, really northern part. I think we have a little bit border with Norway as well, I want to say, but basically just Sweden and Russia. And there has been some accusations that I think Russia was like sending it was a news topic here maybe like a year or two ago, that Russia was sending like refugees to Finland, but they were still coming through border. They weren't like trying to jump over it, I think mostly, but people were kind of saying that Russia was sending them on purpose, like they were busing refugees here to protest Finland joining NATO or something weird like that. But I think that's kind of I think that was like literally confirmed. They actually were doing it. It sounds such a weird thing, but they actually were doing it. Why do Finns have to learn Swedish but Swedes don't have to? Well, it's a weird thing. Like I have wondered that myself for many times. Now I know the like reasons. The reasons is that I don't remember exactly what's the. I have to double check actually. There is higher percentage of Swedish speaking people in Finland than there is Finnish speaking people in Sweden. So that's part of it. And just when Finland became like a sovereign country, and there was not really that large, but like considerable Swedish minority here, they, you know, agreed that we're gonna, you know, treat them well, and we're gonna have 2 official languages, and we're gonna do everything, you know, properly, which is kind of the Finnish way generally. But Swedish-speaking people are like 6% of the population of Finland. Let me double check. What is it in Finland? What is it in Sweden? But in Finland, it's actually, we have 2 official languages. It's both Finnish and Swedish. And it's even compulsory to learn Sweden in school. That's kind of like a very topical political issue, that many people think that it shouldn't be mandatory to learn it, but it is. And it's also mandatory to be able to speak Swedish to work for a government, because all of the government things are both in Finnish and Swedish by law, and, you know, generally in English as well. But there's like a law here that, you know, if you're dealing with any kind of public service like police or whatever, you have to be able to get service in Swedish if you want it. Okay, so in Sweden, percentage of Finnish-speaking people is 2%, and in Finland the opposite is 6%. As John was saying before, Finland is very homogeneous country, and I know in many other countries you might not even consider like 6% ethnic minority that big, and you might have much bigger ones, but that's the biggest that we got here. Okay. I think for once we can get the win, and it's gonna be against the Mercurial mod. Let's go. I don't think it has anything to do with wanting to be part of Scandinavia. It has to do with like the old, you know, decisions that were made in like the early 1900s. I think, you know, like, okay, the Scandinavia topic is a really weird one. So for those that are not aware of, Scandinavian country or Scandinavia basically means like all the Nordic countries except Finland. Though Finland is more, Finland is generally considered more part of the, you know, Scandinavia than some of the other ones. Like it's, many people consider Scandinavia like Finland, Sweden and Norway, but people will say Nordic countries, which is like Scandinavia plus Finland. But if we're actually like technically using the terms properly, like, and the proper way to use it is Scandinavia is, for some reason, Nordic countries minus Finland, but the Scandinavian peninsula, which the word Scandinavia comes from, the countries that are in Scandinavian peninsula is Finland, Sweden, Norway. The reason why Finland was not considered part of the term has to do with that Finland is completely different ethnicity than, you know, the other Nordic countries like Denmark and so on. We're kind of both linguistically and just ethnically distinct actually from the other Nordic and Scandinavian countries, but really we should be part of Scandinavia and Denmark shouldn't be, because Denmark is not even in the Scandinavian peninsula. Now you know, that's the most useless information in your life if you live outside of the Nordic countries or Europe, but you probably didn't hear about that kind of thing before. But all of the Scandinavian / Nordic countries get along well with each other, so there's not any kind of like ethnic spats between us or anything like that. There's always like jokes. There's like in Scandinavian countries we have this like this one of the common joke types is like a, let's say like a Swedish, Norwegian and Finnish people walk into the bar. We make these kind of jokes. We want to beat each other in like sports or whatever, but all of the Nordic countries get along very well, so we're kind of allies against the rest of the world, really. I don't consider Swedish people my enemies or anything like that. Estonia is interesting, but like, so Estonian language is very close to Finnish. Like, we actually have the same language origin, but it's not, you know, it's part of the like Baltic countries, not the Scandinavian countries, and it's not considered part of the Nordic countries either, of course. I would also say that the culture in the Baltic countries is definitely different. I think Finland is culturally more similar to Sweden than Estonia, actually. But there's a lot of, you know, cultural exchange between Estonia and Finland, because, you know, there's just small sea mass between us, and it's not big. And they can talk with each other without learning the other language, but I think Sweden is actually culturally more similar to Finland than Estonia. Okay, Nail and Carnage. Fuck, I wanna ban both of them. Which one are we gonna deal with? I think I'm gonna go for a Nail ban. Let's pick a nuker now. Maybe I go Arbiter or something crazy. I need to go first against this guy. So, I mean, Armand is the only buff stripper, so if he bans it and we get Arbiter, I don't know if that helps. Maybe I have to go Sulfurion, but if this guy has the nukers in Mercurial, then I'm extremely screwed. Oh my god. He's going for even more speed threat champions. I wish I had like a Siegfried or Nice or something. Ugh. There's no way to win this battle. It's unwinnable matchup. There's no way. Nobody's getting a single turn in my team in this battle. I'm not gonna YOLO my shards for Rotos, even though I'm gonna pull some of them to complete the fuse, and that's the plan. I do hope to get Rotos though. I only need one more. I'm not saying Ensa that it's about the hot or cold. I'm more saying that... Fuck. I think I have to go A3 on Embrus. It's more about the fact that Finland is so... We are in the north, yeah, but we're just very isolated. We have basically 2 border countries. And, you know, Russia is quite large one. So there is not many... Like if people want to come to Finland, they have to like go through many other countries and very long distances, and there is many other countries that they could go to. So Finland gets a lot less those than other countries. Is Predator gonna do it? Now we have 2 bombs and Carnage is in Stone Skin, but maybe we have a small chance here. Let's target the Commodus to make sure that it dies though. Ah, looking kind of bad. Wait. We can actually buff strip one of the bombs. Come on, Predator. You need to dodge this one. I could actually get the win. He didn't dodge. Okay, fuck. He even had 3 kills there. Yeah, there's no way I cannot kill him with Donatello. He's just gonna self-heal and he can go to the other form. We're just gonna give up. So close. Okay, let's keep talking about other stuff because the battles are just not going my way. You think that I'm losing because I'm not picking mod enough today? Well, there's gonna be some upgrades soon. I'm gonna get Mercurial, so there is gonna be new stuff to play with, and hopefully that's gonna help me a lot in my goal this season to get top 100. I'm definitely hitting like a hard wall where it's not going too well. I feel like we had a bunch of really close battles that could have easily swinged both ways today, but even if, let's say, I got like 4 more wins, I wasn't like dominating the battles either way, so I do need some big reworks on my champion pool or builds. Okay, maybe we go Embrus here and just try to affinity his nukers and maybe ban Marius. Maybe that could work out. I have no idea if it's a Turkish player. Okay, we go Marius ban. Let's see what happens. Let's hope for a lot of weak hits. The nukers can weak hit on my nuker, and the lookout can weak it on my support, so there's a chance. I mean, I was talking about Ning before, Finnish people don't have like there is like literally no like racial animosity against Swedish people or anything like that. We get totally well along. I know in many other countries and with the bordering ethnicities, they have this kind of stuff. There is like literally no issue with the Swedish people or between Finnish people. The only thing is that maybe half of the countries don't think that the mandatory Swedish in like elementary school is necessary, and maybe parents should be able to choose what language their children learns instead of being forced to learn Swedish, which I agree with, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world. I guess if you want to talk about like some negative perceptions that Finnish people might have against Swedish people, it would probably be that Swedish people are considered kind of like, you know, fruity, but that's about it. There's no animosity between Finnish and Swedish people. They're always considered like our allies, and we're not worried about Swedish people. So people are a lot more concerned and worried about Russia, let me put it that way. Nobody's worried about like the relations between Finland and Sweden. Hasbro is Swedish, right? I mean, Hasbro is very popular. My my dad is a big fan of those type of candies, and he likes the Swedish candies a lot. There's like one big Swedish candy company and one big Finnish one, and they're both kind of international. So we have really good sweets out here. Oh, it's Danish. Then what's the other one? There is another another what I thought was Swedish candy company. What's the one that makes the chocolate? That's Swedish, I'm sure. What's the name? Marabou. Is Marabou Swedish? Don't tell me that's Danish too. Let me Google. Oh yeah, Marabou is Swedish. Hasbro is... Okay, fair enough. We all have like one big candy company. I thought Hasbro was Swedish too, but my bad. Fazer is Finnish. The... What's it called? Marabou is Swedish, and then Hasbro is... what did you say? Danish? Yeah. I think that's pretty much all the different sweets that we have. There's not like... I wanna say like 95% of the candies are one of those three companies that we have available in the shops. Do I have a damage to kill the nice? I feel like I don't, but I kind of want to try. Okay, not even close. I should have killed the our base while I had the ability to do so. Fuck. Yeah, Fazer is Finnish company. I will say that generally I think the candies in like other countries are way worse than ours. I don't like the other like international brands. I feel like our Nordic candy quality is way better. Okay. I should have revived the R-base while I could. Like the R-base is gonna get revived again, I think. I'm gonna have a tough time killing the Nice. I think the Embrus was probably the right pick here. But in this final boss battle, Rotos would do way better against the Nice. Embrus is not gonna he's not gonna sweep Nice even though he has good affinity. But Rotos might have died before he got the turn. Okay, I got saved by the Donatello passive. I don't have the damage to kill the Nice, and the Nice is just, you know, lapping me like 1,000 times, and he has so much stats because of the passive. Does it have... it had Wand, right? Chainbreaker and probably Wand too. It wouldn't be worthy to go to the first form on Embrus. Are we gonna lose this battle as well? God damn. Okay. I think it's over. I think it's over. Rotos could deal with this easily. I like Rotos, but Rotos has just been struggling against the other things that I have been meeting lately. I want to try Rotos in 9B's Mercurial. Okay, I think we go Rotos, maybe even Necret in this battle. Damn, you're not gonna find this kind of win-loss ratio on any other stream. I don't think anybody is getting pounded as hard as I was getting on tonight's session. God damn. I need to do something else than raid after this and win. He picked the Necret, I can't even do it. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the Joan one-shotting Rotos. I was wanting to pick Necret for that and block reviving it, but maybe I just spam the Joan and try to deal with Lockout. If Rotos just gets any turns, he can definitely sweep this team. I don't know if Freya is like a meta or anything like that. She's not popular, but you see it picked sometimes, and I've definitely lost to Freya several times, but there is definitely a lot better champions out there. Assuming that you have them, but if you don't, I mean, would I use Freya if I had her? Yeah, I would use it. So depends what's the standard on your account. Can I kill the Marius with A3? Maybe I can actually. Wait, yeah, I think I can. I think we're... Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good. Death Dealer OP. And then let's get rid of the Nakarada to get that filthy passive out. It used to be, back in the day, Nakarada was meta, both in offense and defense in like classic arena. And Tranda was kind of OP against Nakarada, that instead of doing like AoE damage, you could kill Nakarada with the Tranda A2, and then you would nuke everybody and they wouldn't have Nakarada protection. And you could do the same thing with both Ursuka and Nakarada, who were popular champions in defense back then. Both of them, if you hit first with Tranda A2, it will basically disable their passives. But that interaction has not been relevant in a while. Would be kind of funny to see somebody whip out a Tranda in a battle though. For Rotos, it's kind of both of them are good. Actually, I have a Rotos guide that shows the actual like percentage between them, but the TLDR version, that is that on accessories, max health, flat health main stat is 1/3 more damage than attack main stat, but both of them work. And then for like percentage items like chest or boots, attack is better, and it's around 1/3 both ways around. But I literally have like old Rotos guide that gives you the exact percentage on it if you're that curious about it. But the short version is that chest and boots you go with max health, max attack, and then you know ring and banner you go with max health. But both is good if you have a really good, you know, I don't know, attack banner with good stats overall. Chances are that it's better than having a crappier health banner. There was a time where Rotos used to be built on low health on purpose, and people were just avoiding health in general, even when they were losing damage for it. But then they nerfed his passive and it wasn't worth doing it anymore. Now, Ursuka was meta for like years. It wasn't like a month. It was definitely like at least couple years when Ursuka was meta in PvP. Maybe even like 3. I feel like it had to be at least 2 years of time. Yeah, sure, ask whatever you want. I mean, if it's like doxing me or something personal, I might not entertain it, but if it's anything game related, I'm definitely gonna reply. I mean, the game was just power crept. You used to be able to tank the enemy teams with like, you know, high max health and this kind of stuff, just buffs. Obviously, there's many champions that can one-shot you anymore, that can one-shot you now and you can't outlive it anymore. You don't need decreased defense to one-shot enemies, and you know you can even disable passives and stuff. Marius will just buff strip enemy team and not get polymorphed. There's just those kind of champions are just not good enough anymore. There's new mechanics. let's check the win rate. we're knocking on the door of 50%. We're gonna get there eventually, I guess. We're definitely banging it today, though. I did have like was it 8 battle win streak yesterday, so that will probably balance it out a little bit, but we're definitely... I'm sure I went down several percentages during today's session. I think we're more than 110, but probably not too far off. It's gonna be a long season. It's kind of, you know, what are you gonna do about it? Because, you know, I guess I could not play live arena and, you know, be lower points and get, you know, easy battles, but what's even the point? But it's definitely very brutal if I'm, you know, if I'm having like 0% win ratio. Okay, let's see. What's my win rate now? 55. I think it was 57. 57 earlier today, so I think we went down 2% on this session. We have 3 bot battles today. I think that was the 3rd one, I want to say. Yeah. Not great. Multiple battles were kind of close though, but yesterday's session I had 1 battle where Predator 1 versus 4 against the Theodosia and Galatri team, so I think I kind of spent all of my RNG for a week in that battle. I mean, I don't think like Wogot, like all of those champions are not relevant for the same reasons, though. Like in the lower tiers I'm sure you can use Ursuka and it can still be useful, but if people have the newer champions it's not. So against the same people that Wogot might be good against, Ursuka might be as well. yeah, I'm praying to win a match as well. Okay, now we got an account that has a lot less points for the season, so maybe we can take this one. Only 600, I'll take it. Theodosia and Shuchen. That doesn't even have any blessing on Theodosia. It must be a free-to-play account, I think. Surely. Does anyone have an old account with Ninja that they can give to you? I don't have extra accounts. Maybe somebody in chat has. Maybe ask YouTube chat or my Discord, but I think you can just get Ninja with the old codes these days. Unless they changed it recently, you can definitely do it, because I remember I had a sponsored video for a website that has all of those codes on it, and you can just get the Ninja with new account these days. You can choose between like a few codes, and if you use like one of them, then I don't think you can use some of the other ones, but I think you can get the Ninja on new account if you just want it. Okay, Racklin is pretty good. Racklin buff was kind of nice. I'm happy they buffed Racklin too, because it's good, but I don't think it's OP, but it's definitely situationally very usable at this point. But Racklin was like a void champion that just didn't get any use for like ever, And it was kind of like a sad pull if you happen to get her, but now actually maybe you can, even if you're a good account, maybe you can still build her and use her against some matchups. Okay, this guy doesn't have like stone skin on anybody, though he has the new like seasonal mythic relic on Theodosia, which is kind of boggers. It's probably gonna be a very fast one, but we went first and stunned them with Armand, so surely we can win this battle. This is what my enemies do against me most of the battles. I can show Predator build after this battle, but as he said in the description, you can find all of my builds. Dude, I think this is gonna be it. We can actually win a battle. It sounds kind of crazy after this session, but I think it's possible that we could win. I hope you guys are having a higher win rate or better sessions than I'm doing right now, but we have to keep it up if we want to get the rewards. Sorry about that. If I want to get 1.3k points, never mind top 100, I have to play. Obviously, if I'm going just for that, it will be more prudent to chill out and boost later when we can get easier battles. But I'm still trying to go for top 100. Might be a little bit delusional, but I'm still gonna try at least. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go. I won one battle on today's stream. Oh fuck, I forgot to show the Predator build. My bad. Armand's is 419 speed in 4-piece stone skin. I'll whip out the Predator build from the Hellhades website myself. I can still show it to you during the lobby. Predator, like how good the champion is or how good the build on him is not the issue. The issue is everything else. Predator is solo carrying my account and all of my other champions are letting him down. He's even slightly higher stats in the live version because the Hellhades website doesn't take into account your relic on this, so he's like actually 151k health. Just as a side flex, but the build itself kind of outdated. 4-piece lethal, 2-piece cruel. I'm kind of going for max damage. Now the issue with that is that 6-piece mercurial would be better, but I don't have merciless, not mercurial. Both of them are interesting, but 6-piece merciless would be a lot more damage. Not a lot, but a little bit more damage than lethal and cruel. But I have really good swift parry, so I'm looking forward to the accessories. I'm gonna chaos or the crap out of them, and I'm definitely gonna do swift parry on Predator. I have some insane swift parry pieces, as you might guess, that I have never used on my account because they haven't been relevant, but finally they will find their chance to shine. I'm really happy about the update. I see people having very mixed opinions about it. Some people think that the new sets are OP, some people think that they're not gonna be used, but I'm really happy about the update. I'm finally gonna be able to use those sets. Okay. Can we make it 2 wins? I mean, I'm not talking about like mythic pieces, but like, you know, they have the good stats. Those kind of pieces I'm talking about. Bottom pieces are really hard to get. And I have perfect chest and perfect boots for Predator. And I also have multiple good attack nuker pieces on bottom. And that's really good. I think I actually need a good shield on Predator. Or like health nuker on Swift Parry, but that's like the easiest one to get. Now that we have the announcement, I'm just gonna spam my Chaos or on Swift Parry, and even if they're not like triple or quad rolls. I think it's more than 2. I think I had a couple wins at the start. Calm down. Should I do the A2 right now just to try to stun the Alas? Maybe not. Maybe I'll just hopefully lap him. I'm pulling for Rotos, but to complete the fusion event, I'm not gonna pull all of my shards. I have been saving my resources for the past several months, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Okay, now it's looking bad. But I hope we can still do it. Come on, Predator, please go before the Carnage. Okay, are we good? No, weak hit on the Alas. Ah, shit. Oh, he could just nuke everybody here. Rotos is gonna... Okay, he didn't go for it. Rotos was gonna survive because of the... What you call it? The... Ward of the Fallen. Now, which one we go for? We can kill, I think, both of them, but we can weak hit on Carnage. If I kill Carnage, we are good. Okay, no weak hit, let's go. It was really low. Maybe it could have died even from a non-weak hit, but I'm not really sure about that. Wait, I can just A2 the Alas right now. I don't even have to do A3. Right? Oh, fuck. Barely not enough damage with the A2. That was a big mistake. I was trying to stack the A3 and stack the max health and get the block revive on the A3, but that might have been a huge mistake. How could I have predicted that it barely didn't kill the Alas? Because we were ignoring the defense buff and everything with the Hunter's Case debuff. Ocean Woods, I don't know if you like are aware of it, but they have literally, at the same time that they said that they're gonna do Swift Parry rework, they announced a bunch of things that they are gonna do this year. And one of those things is, and we don't have any details about it, but they said that there will be mechanic and everyone will be able to get any of the old fusions in the future. So that should happen. Now, how impossible is it to actually do it? How does it work? I have no idea. But right now I'm working under the impression that I'm definitely gonna get Fabian at some point. So yeah, I'm going for Fabian when we are able to do it. We got the win. We're on a win streak now. Let's go. Almost 10 battle win streak. I can show it to you. They announced it today, not too many hours ago. Wait, do I just have the... Oh, I literally have it pulled up in my browser still. Give me a sec. Like, basically every content creator probably made a video about it earlier today, but this is the buff. The TLDR version is that the 1 to 4B sets is basically the same. On deflection they changed everything, but now 5B's 10 health, 7B's 15 health, 6B's 15% less damage on a single target attacks, 8B's 10 speed, and 9B's 50% ignore defense. That's the crazy part. It's the most ignore defense by far we can get with any set, and it's like that's not the reason to put it on Predator or Noise, let's say, not the only reason, but it happens to give health as well on the 5 and 7B set bonuses, and even the 6B's is like a damage mitigating effect that would be good on tanky champions, especially Nice, but also Predator or anybody else that, you know, health scaling nuker that you would use it on. So I think Swift Parry is gonna be pretty good. Should I go with UDK? Nah, let's just go with mod. I was thinking about UDK for Mesomela, but there are so many other things to worry about in his team than Mesomel. Here's the deflection. Okay, wait. Well, basically the deflection thing is that it's kind of like a reverse feral that with 9B set for each debuff you have on enemy, it will reduce their enemy defense ignore effects. Which seems much more niche, and I'm not sure if it's gonna get a lot of play, but maybe there will be some new champions that synergize with it, or maybe people even for some reason might want to use it in PvE over feral. I doubt it, but maybe there is something that I'm not thinking about. But one thing that came to my mind is that obviously you need to get the debuffs at the start of the battle. If enemy goes first and nukes you and almost kills you, and then you put debuffs on them and reduce their damage, that's not gonna be relevant. So kind of like the protection sets and so on, you want it to be on a champion that goes first, or more ideally a champion that places some boss with their passive at the start of the battle, like Niamhe or Necret. And we kind of have the reverse version of that currently. Well, a few of them, but never mind Gizmo. But we do have Nell that places multiple debuffs at the start. Maybe we have some kind of tanky reviver or support champion that also places some debuffs on enemy at the start of the battle before anybody takes any turns. If there was a champion like that, maybe the maybe the I can't kill it through the stone skin. I probably would break the stone skin honestly with Rotos, but I wouldn't kill the champion. Maybe there will be some new champion that actually wants to use deflection and, you know, changes things in the game. Who knows? I feel like they're definitely gonna do it because people seem to think that Plarium is stupid when they do dumb things, but they're not doing them accidentally. They're doing them on purpose to take money, and they always do this thing that they introduce some new mechanic and then they give it a little bit time and they put out some new champions that use it and that are OP, and then they later on introduce another mechanic or champion that directly counters that one. And considering that we already have champions that do the exact thing that we're talking about, I'm sure there is gonna be some that are specifically made with the deflection in mind. I'm like almost certain about it. Plarium does not, you know, these things don't go unnoticed. We think that they're stupid, but they're not. They know what they're doing. My favorite example is that they introduced Charge It, who was super OP with massive ignore defense, and then like 6 months later we get Harima. And the funny thing about Harima is that Harima was leaked like 1 or 2 years ago, before she was released, and we knew that Harima was coming, and we knew that they knew about Harima years before Charge It, and it was definitely always their intention to first break the game with Charge It, have all of the whales wailing for it, and then later on they will sell the solution to Charge It, which is Harima passive. And I know that neither one of them is super relevant or popular right now, but they used to be the top meta champions when they were new, and after that they have done the same thing over and over again, and they will keep doing it until the end of the game. So I'm sure there's gonna be champions that counter counter the Mercurial set at some point, probably not too soon, but maybe by the end of this year. And I'm sure there's gonna be some champions that they make with the new deflection set in mind. Plarium does not do things with like short notice, so I'm sure the swift parry and deflection rework was probably done like a year ago, and they're just, you know, waiting to publish it. But I'm sure they didn't come up with like anytime recently. They probably came up with it like 2 years ago or something like that. That's how they operate. Plarium is not like a small mom and pop business. It's actually, you know, it's actually like a proper company. So they're a bit more organized than I am with my content. They don't take 2 weeks breaks all the time or 8 months breaks or anything like that. They do things with intent and purpose. And that's why they are the, you know, big boy mobile game. Oh, you got Predator? Crats. So many people were telling me in the last couple of days that they pulled Predator from the event. So many. I think you're the 6th or 7th person that says it. Ether Iron, yeah, they did say that they're gonna come from Platinum only, the Platinum chests. I would expect that they will add them to other content later on, but they specifically did say that they're only coming from, the accessories will only come from the Plat chests. But there's already tons of pushback around it, and they have been listening to the players. Why? Ah, fuck, 70 gems. We're gonna do it. 70 gems for one battle, let's go. They have been listening to the feedback, and I'm sure there is gonna be many Reddit threads crying about it. The content creators are talking about it in the content creator chat, and I would be surprised if, like, in a year, Swift Parry accessories would only be from Platinum Arena chest and nowhere else. This guy is level 75. And he's quite high points. That's kind of crazy. What kind of champions is he gonna whip out? Yeah, I'm gonna stream on Sunday. I'm definitely going for the plat push. I mean, I've been going at it, especially since they announced the Platinum update on December. Like, you know, I made multiple videos telling about this, that guys, push plat now. It's gonna be a lot harder when they make the update. I was calling this for a long time. People were saying that I'm delusional when I specifically said that they're gonna add ignore defense on Swift Parry. because all of the other variable nuker sets have ignore defense, but it happened. You know, little bit humble brag, but I called it, and I called multiple different things about it. But it's gonna be hard. I'm sure I'm not gonna finish Plat this Sunday, but we will see. As you guys can see, I'm going for quite a loss streaks, and I'm sure that trend is not gonna stop during the Platinum Arena reset. Okay, maybe I go Ember's ban in this battle. I think he's gonna ban Predator. Oh fuck, I have to ban UDK. I hope that they don't nerf Predator, but I have kind of a scary feeling that they might. I'm gonna cry because there's so many other OP champions that they never nerfed. Please don't do it to my boy Predator. Wait, are you talking about the deflection troll? Yeah, that's maybe one thing that might go a little bit unnoticed. Wait, is he just gonna cleanse it? No, we got stun on Galatiri too. Is that people are mostly thinking about Swift Parry. They did add the 1-piece immunity on deflection, which wasn't there before, and it's on the 4-piece set, so I think that's gonna get more use than the 9-piece set. Like, people are building Seek runes with immunity and so on, so I'm sure they might use the deflection in the future, or some people at least, because it's also gonna add the basically like a Wand of Submission proc. They completely reworked deflection. It's completely new outside of the 4-piece set bonus, but the stats are different and everything else. Swift Parry is basically the same, and they just added the new levels. Yeah, I mean, I'm scared about the Predator thing, but I think it's 40-60. I think that it's slightly higher chance that he's not gonna get nerfed, because Brehm has explicitly stated, and I know some of you guys have heard me mention this like many times, but Brehm explicitly stated to content creators that they don't want to buff or nerf limited time champions. They have specifically said it because people were really hard lobbying for Fatalists to get buffed, and they made it very clear that they're not gonna buff Fatalists, no matter what people say in the chat. So, of course, Brehm has changed their things about stuff in the past. One example would be that they did change the Platinum Arena time to Sunday, and it used to be like on Monday morning, and they changed it to Sunday. They specifically said, and they have been saying the same thing many times for many years, that they will not move the Platinum Arena reset time from Monday during the like early daytime, because it needs to be when they have employees at work, and it can't be weekend, it can't be late, and they need to monitor the Platinum reset, whatever that means, because they definitely were not monitoring it. So many people would have been banned from the game if they were doing it, so I don't really buy that excuse. But they were saying for many years, and they were always copy pasting the same answer, that no, we're not gonna change the time, go fuck yourself. That was basically their answer, and then somehow they had a change of heart eventually. But who knows? Yeah, the Corpulent Cadaver I've also made that point like every time I talk about this. They don't mind nerfing things that give people more loot or do better in PvE, but they will not touch, you know, Maritska didn't get nerfed, Taras didn't get nerfed. Basically, you know, name a relevant champion in PvP that was top tier that did get nerfed outside of Rotos. Basically there isn't any. I mean, some, you know, historical, you know, researchers might know that Siphi got a small nerf back in the day, but it was barely noticeable. But basically no meta champion in PvP ever gets nerfed. That's not the Plarium way. I think there's a good possibility that there's gonna be some kind of set or champion that has some kind of mechanics that, you know, ignore or deal with the evade. I have also talked about this multiple times in the past. The issue with that is that the evade is not that common mechanic. Like basically Predator is the only relevant champion in the meta that uses it. That champion has to be really, really good for it to be worth it, because it would also have to be good against other champions than just Predator. Now, fair enough if they make like UDK for Predator, but that is kind of iffy. Like if you just ban the champion, or if you know, if you do something else, it's not. I don't think it's that easy to counter Predator that way. Like they would have to sacrifice one full champion to specifically deal with him, and they could just have other champions or go first or ban the Predator counter. So it will be hard to implement the mechanic unless they make the champion OP and he would be good outside of just the Predator matchup. Okay, we got the library done. That's kind of my daily chores. Sadly, I can't do 21 just yet on the Dark Elves. We don't really have good heals in this faction, or I don't at least, even though I have Fidos. Well, at least we got some wins at the end. It probably is maybe one of my worst, if not the worst, live arena session yet. But I am, you know, high points and I'm fighting a lot of good accounts. I mean, we lost to some accounts that are not even better than me, but generally the accounts are pretty good. I still have a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, I think mythic relics will be interesting way to try to counter things. They're all so very niche that I totally see it happening, that there could be a mythic relic that just deals with the evasion. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good chance that they will do something to do to counter evasion, but like I said, even if they do that, that doesn't necessarily mean that it actually deals with Predator in the practice. But definitely have your fun with him while you can, but Plarium really doesn't want to nerf champions, so maybe they will let Predator slip by as well. Anyway, I think we're gonna end the stream there. I don't want to bore you guys with faction war stuff. Maybe, you know, I keep talking about it, but I never stream anything other than live arena. But maybe we will do some PvE just chilling stream someday, but not today. It's getting late and it's time for me to go sleep, so